there is so much to say, so much to unpack from today that I won't even start trying. But I would like to talk about something that's central to all these things, and the thing that I'm passionate about, and that's job creation, opportunities and jobs, right? It's one thing to bring a big company in and, bring them in. You've got 150, 200 jobs, and a lot of times those jobs and opportunities are shared with other employees that are already employed. But what we're trying to do with the tech-based economic development is bring either start a company, recruit a company, and at the same time develop the talent for that company, okay? And this is where the universities get involved, and this is why it's important. And the REAP program, literally, I feel like when we put together the Center for Research and Development, it was a physical manifestation of your REAP program. I mean, I'm a huge fan, a huge believer in that, and that really is scientifically and fundamentally the place to go so that you can get information about some of the things that we have done. Back in 1965, one of the largest malls in the country was built just across the street. 285,000 square feet. They say it was one of the largest malls in the country. I don't know if they meant back in the country or the entire country, but anyway, 285,000 square feet is a lot of space. The best thing that could have happened to Bowling Green was Greenwood Mall was built, and this old mall fell in disrepair. The owner took a lot of tax deductions and so forth, and just no one could do anything with it. In the year 2000, the Innovation Act of 2000 was passed at the state legislature. There was a mind change at the cabinet. $2 million was used with Western to purchase that old mall, dilapidated, ceilings falling down, rats running around, asbestos, yes. This whole area around here was uninvestable because folks didn't know whether there would be a junkyard built there or, a dump. I mean, literally. So Western got a hold of this property. Dr. Ansdale was president at the time. I was a newbie in economic development. One of my mentors challenged me to take a job at Western. And I found myself in a little 300 square foot space inside this old mall where the ceilings were still falling down, and it was horrible, disrepair. We had a call center out front, a Dollar General store, a Big Lots, low-end retail. Nothing wrong with that, but it doesn't promote the kind of opportunities and jobs we're talking about. So I thought to myself, knowing nothing about economic development, how in the world would we keep a technology company in Bowling Green without the facilities like what we have today at the WKU Center for Research and Development? Back then, people thought I was crazy. The marketing study that we paid $15,000 for said that you can't have technology companies in Bowling Green. There are none. I knew that was false because 2 years before, I started a technology company in Bowling Green, and it moved to Nashville with me in it. So I'm driving back and forth every day with a couple of my staff. So hitting the ground over here, this old mall, I looked at that and said, okay, I don't know about economic development, but I do know the argument that I lost when my company moved to Nashville. So let's win that argument, right? So what do we need? Just like Colby said, fiber optics, internet. That old mall had DSL. And every time it rained outside, the water would slish in the pipes and the internet would fail. And we had a little tiny internet company in there, okay, called HidSense right beside my office. They would have been gone in months, right? So BGMU, this is kind of a miraculous confluence of things, really. BGMU, a couple of years before, had put in a dual sonic ring fiber network in Bowling Green. And it was capable of being sort of a backbone of connectivity. Just so happens there's a point of presence on the corner over here across the street where that fiber comes out of the ground. So I knew from the past that we had to be connected. Thomas Friedman was right in Boston, Austin, those kind of places, but not at the old mall in Bowling Green. The world wasn't flat then. When BGMU put that fiber in there, it became that way. That place lit up like a Christmas tree, I kid you not. We would sign 9 out of 10 companies that we wanted to come to that center. That's how high the success rate was. Now, at that time, We had not fallen to the false marketing study that said that we could only have, mom and pop companies. We ripped that apart and we said, we're going to create an accelerator program. We're going to create 300 square feet space, 600 square feet, 1,200 square feet, 2,400 square feet in this 285,000 square foot facility, plug and play. We're going to act like economic developers, not landlords. We're not going to try to fill the space. We always want vacancy for the next project that it's the next company that Sam has, whatever. And we did that. And I can tell you, because we're the worst storytellers in the world, and thank God Sam Ford's with us now and he can tell our story, over the past 18 years, we've created thousands of jobs. The revenues from the companies in that facility, over $2 billion in revenue. The payroll, okay? Payrolls, if you accumulated those payrolls, they're over $200 million in payrolls. Now, those are dollars, okay, coming in and going into the community. And for 8 years in a row, I don't know where this number came from, but I was told by a credible source from that I trust. They said for 8 years in a row, do you know, buddy, that this area has been the fastest growing place in the state of Kentucky. Now, we went from junkyard, okay, to Center for Research and Development. This place developed all of the things. So it wasn't just us. It was sort of pent back, maybe held back investment dollars. But nevertheless, this is really good stuff for the local community. Now, so we have a successful WKU Center for Research and Development. About a year ago, I decided to retire from a technology development job and go back and work for a 501c3 that I had created 18 years ago as a programs director, not an admin, because I wanted to work in programs, work with people. And Dr. Caboni at the university got wind of that, and he asked me to run the Innovation Campus for WKU, and that includes the Center for Research and Development, some of this facility, other things that we've got going on, and tons of programs and things. So this was really cool, because there is a message, and an important message associated with being successful, and that is, and Accelerate Kentucky is the epitome of that, and that is you need to do things together and be very inclusive. And so when I took that job, it immediately brought together in the Innovation Campus an economic development engine that was tech-based, which is the Central Region ICC, and they're the ones that are sponsoring. It also created a fiscal core, WKU Research Foundation, where all of the intellectual property of the university resides, okay, under that one thing. And then our wonderful relationships with existing applied research and technology programs. Dr. Webb's here today, who runs that. These are critical relationships where we work together to leverage those kinds of assets to do wonderful applied research, but at the bottom end of the day, bottom line, we're creating opportunities and jobs. There's one more piece of the puzzle for Innovation Campus 2.0. Innovation Campus 2.0 is about developing the culture in the community to support all of the things that we're trying to do. The world has changed a bit since the last time I was working on economic development. It's not just about the opportunities and jobs. You also have to have the cultural standard of living. So we created, and Shelley alluded to that, and we heard from the MIT folks, we have created a new program, a new thing, and it's called our Collaborative Smart Space. So what you're seeing right there is a graphic of the entire Center for Research and Development, 285,000 square feet. On the right side of that graphic, a call center vacated this year. We took over that space, 30,000 square feet. Now get this, when we do something in Bowling Green, and one of the reasons this thing has the needles that it moves like that, is we're talking about an enormous amount of space. We're not talking about 1,000 square feet over a coffee shop here, co-working. We're talking about 30,000 square feet where people like Sam and Buddy, who I used to be an inventor, and Shelley, Dr. Webb, we'll have a collaboration environment. In our accelerator, which you see at the top of that, there's 45,000 square feet, and that's where you would put your company and have 300, 600 square. In the collaboration space, it's the antithesis of an accelerator, in the space means because everybody is in the same space. We have some private areas where you can kind of do your own thing, but it's a collaborative, smart space, and we're creating social programs, and Sam, again, is very instrumental in this, social programming, so that our creative class professionals want to come to that space and do work. Like I said, I can't really talk about all of the things I'd love to talk about in detail, but what I would love for you to do is come over to the center after this event and meet and talk, and we can go over things, answer more questions in detail. Glad to be here. I'm so wonderfully glad that everyone from around the state of Kentucky came here, and I'm so grateful to Accelerate Kentucky because I have new friends like Sam Ford, I have friends like Rusty. They have really connected me to a wonderful network of folks. Alex Day is the reason that I got connected into Accelerate Kentucky, and after that, we had VJ come on our board from Logan Aluminum. So you can imagine, we have taken that connective asset and we started to leverage it to do many of the things that are going on. So thank you for your time. I'm out of time and appreciate you being here.